In the Impact segment tonight, is the mainstream media being fair and balanced in their portrayal of the Ground Zero mosque controversy? Here's CBS News anchor Katie Couric's take on the situation.
When loudspeakers are blaring "Born in the USA" and signs say "No clubhouse for terrorists," it's clear we aren't just talking about a mosque anymore. There is a debate to be had about the sensitivity of building this center so close to Ground Zero, but we cannot let fear and rage tear down the towers of our core American values.
Joining us from New York, Fox News analyst Allen Colmes. All right, Allen, so you just heard the tape of what Katie Couric said. Do you think she's weighing into this controversy and maybe favoring the side of the people who want the mosque to be where it is?
Disagree with that we shouldn't let fear and rage tear down the towers of core American values. Do you disagree with that?
Well, it sounds like she was actually characterizing the anti-mosque at near Ground Zero
I don't know.
viewpoint.
Do you think that fear
and what I thought was interesting, Alan, is when you looked at the two protests the other day, right? Some people were screaming. I saw some video of some of the pro-mosque folks saying this is racism and hate, and the other people were just as upset. I don't think there's anything wrong with this. This is an interesting debate. I think it's actually a good debate for us to have about assimilation and sensitivity.
I think it's a great debate because we're saying who the intolerant people are in this country. It's interesting that the word tolerance was used with you and the love fest you had with Liz Cheney, but who the real intolerance we're seeing are from those people who don't seem to believe in religious freedom in this country. And I'm interested that you were very much for this when you interviewed Daisy Khan or spoke with her.
Actually, you're not reading the transcript correctly,
I did read the
Alan.
transcript.
I never said I was for building the mosque 600 feet of Ground Zero.
You actually said I don't have a problem with it.
I like what you're doing.
I like what you're doing.
I said I can't find a lot of people who have a problem with it. I like what she said about bringing Muslims into the American experience, and I repeated that last night.
And that
Absolutely.
hasn't changed. That hasn't changed.
When she goes on television and calls people who question the positioning of the mosque, where it is, not the right to build it, but the place of building, as people who hate Muslims, I reject that. That's intolerant.
What's happening here is a smear campaign against this imam and his wife. That's what's going on here.
Blood on
you're
their
extracting
hands?
out of context something he said in 2005 without the full context of what he said. He has been very clear. In fact, in a book that he wrote, published by the company that distributes this show, by Harper San Francisco, he talked about how wrong it is to ever have terrorism or kill anybody in the name of religion.
Well, he seems to say
do that. Why aren't his full comments said in full context, Laura?
I think what he says, and all of Fox News has been playing these comments, I think what he says to one audience oftentimes differs from what he says to another audience.
Not true. Because
and it depends on what audience you're talking to.
Not true.
Alan, do you agree with his statement that America has more blood on its hands than Al-Qaeda? Do you agree with that statement, yes or no?
I agree with it in the broader context. And by the way, also said that Michael Scheuer, the head of the bin Laden unit of the CIA at one point, who said they don't hate us because of who we are, they hate us because of what we do. And he was embraced by conservatives.
He said we have more blood on our hands?
Because of
No, he didn't say that.
Well, if I may finish, because of our actions overseas, the truth of the matter is, because of the vehemence with which we've gone into Iraq and Afghanistan, we have had more collateral damage.
President
because
Obama's
of the number
the commander-in-chief now. Take that up with him. But the idea that this man is building bridges, Alan, here's my question to you.
Let me know when I can speak.
You mischaracterized an interview on this show. Yes, you did, from December.
Respond to your question.
And I'm glad we're friends. The idea that a man who's supposed to be building bridges, whether you agree with him or not, makes statements about America having more blood on her hands than Al-Qaeda, that is going to be an effective
Laura,
bridge
you are
builder?
guilty of smearing a man by taking one sentence out of context and ignoring the number of things he has said that are indeed bridge building and that have. The fact is, if you look at the actual metrics, yes, we have to understand how our actions in other parts of the world affect our view of us. We have Americans dying right now in Afghanistan and Iraq in order to promote Islamic countries and work on behalf of Muslims. We have Muslims in the American military have died. Muslims died on 9/11. It's about time we stop this divisive rhetoric and showed a little tolerance about religious freedom and stop arguing over location.
The tolerance only goes one way. We're supposed to bend to the wishes of everybody else, but we can't even ask questions in our country anymore. Questions aren't allowed, I guess.
Let's talk about what the intent is of these questions. The intent is to smear a man who's been a harbinger of peace and has been sent out by the State Department of the last two administrations to send that message.
Oh, yeah, well, they didn't do the vetting of him either, but Alan, I appreciate it. Oh, that was rough.